if you can introduce yourself to the people watching.
I'm Michaela, and we submitted 2 films. One was called Love in Lockdown, and I can't remember the name of the other one, but Emma can answer. Emma. I made them with my friend Emma. We made them together, but in our separate homes.
Yeah.
So we each filmed a little bit and edited it together. He wants to know the name of the films, and I can only remember Love in Lockdown.
And then Clothes in Lockdown. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Emma. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. You look very professional in your studio.
Well, I've got Valorian trousers on and really awful slippers, so it's a bit it's a bit of a mixed bag. You know what I mean? So it's I'm exhausted as well because I'm so knackered at the moment. But that's a different story. That's all to do with work and everything. So,
what's your normal job?
So I'm a video producer and photographer for a university in Chester.
Oh, cool.
But obviously, I'm not doing that now. So we're doing a lot of video online-based training for 200 different people. So it's exhausting, but it's good fun when you see someone you're teaching and learn something new, and they kind of they can go off and do that themselves. So we've been creating a lot of content for the virtual open day recently. So it's been crazy. And now the final week of the festival before our showcase on Saturday.
Oh, before you announce us as your winners.
I've got to say, though, whose idea was the Clothes in Lockdown?
Well, we both collaborated on it together. So we just brainstormed different ideas, and we were just talking about the fact that, you see those memes and stuff on Instagram which say, my genes must think that I've died and stuff like that. So we just thought it would be fun to take that to the next level.
Yeah.
And like give them a voice.
This whole narrative of like what our other clothes must think happened to us, and the various conspiracy theories of where they think we've disappeared to.
Yeah, I love that. I'll tell you how we watched them. We watched them over the course of a couple of weeks because we had over 100 submissions, and for a fledgling festival like ours with no sponsorship or anything like that, we're exceptionally happy. And we've had films from all over the world now, which has been super exciting. So I just spoke to a chap called Ryan Henderson, and he's moved from Scotland with his American wife to Florida 2 months ago, just before lockdown started in the US. So it was completely crazy. He was telling me his story and that kind of thing. So. And how he came to find his narrative in his film, and that's what I loved about. I loved both of them. I will say I really enjoyed both of them. And when we watched them, I watched them with my family in a big group, and all safely within 2 meters and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's like a disclaimer now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I did that though, because clearly Emma and I don't live together, but I was very quick.
Yeah.
Like we filmed it separately, and we each filmed a bit, and we edited it, and
that's what makes it even better though, because it was more of a challenge, but it was like an exciting challenge that will never come up again, hopefully.
I totally agree with that. So we watched it with a family, and when it came to your film, we didn't have them back to back. But it kind of made sense to have them separate because it wasn't like a continued story or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So everyone responded really well to both films. I've got to say that. And because the Clothes one, it reminded me of this is a really random reference. There's an MC Hammer cartoon from the 90s, and it's where his shoes talk. So it's like his superpower. When he puts the shoes on, he becomes MC Hammer we all know and love, or to a certain degree. And yeah, that's what I loved about the Clothes film, especially. It was just a lot of fun. It was very honest as well, and such a nice story. It's there's nothing pretentious about it, and I like the kind of dynamic of the conversation between the clothes. So was that something that you kind of thought about, or did you develop it a little bit?
Yeah, so we gave kind of subconsciously each item of clothing had its own kind of personality. So the leopard print dress was the slutty person.
Yeah, and northern.
Yeah, northern. And we actually, all the voiceovers are from our friends. So we got them to all send us VOs.
Okay.
Kind of, the voiceovers also we don't tell our friends this, but the friends that do the voiceover also kind of match the clothes. Which is very that's fair, Emma.
That's amazing. That's great.
Well, we won't show them this podcast after.
Like, for example, our best mate Serena, she loves leopard prints. We were like, right, Serena can do the VO, and then we've got.
You're casting the clothes. It's like it's not just the personality of the thing. You're actually really casting there. I think that's such a good idea.
Item and and then with voice notes, basically we got everyone to do their lines and get them to do them over and over again. They weren't very happy about.
Well, just imagine what voice artists or actors go through, when they do like a Pixar film or something like that. They get asked to do 1,000 variations of coughs and that kind of thing, whatever is needed for the film. So, how long did it kind of take you to get that material back? And did you was it all just send us a load of variations, or was there a back and forth between you and your friends that did the voices?
There was definitely a back and forth, wasn't there?
Yeah, well, because Michaela did most of the editing, so I took care of, cracking the whip and getting all our friends to give our voices. So I sort of gave them free rein on the first go, and then pretty much every single one I needed them to do it again. So then you have to kind of give them a shit sandwich where
that's the best way to put it.
God. That was amazing, babe, but
you bit more French, and you can never really tell.
A little bit more like this.
And it's always when you put it in the edit, you can tell which voices need changes in the intonation.
Right.
Yeah, and then obviously everyone did it in different environments, so they all sound different, which we thought would be a bit of a problem because obviously all the voices are in the wardrobe, and because some people recorded, for example, underneath their duvet. One of our friends, Serena, who's the leopard print dress, her boyfriend is a producer, so he does voice recordings all the time, so they did it really professionally under a duvet.
Oh wow.
And then some people just did it like
one was next to the bus. I could hear them. I could tell they were next to a window because I can hear a car going by.
Yeah.
Can you do it again? Because there's a bus that went past.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really great. And with Love in Lockdown, was it a similar process? Did you have the kind of ideas of the different scenes? Because you did a really good job with that, because having the different scenarios was really key. I think you could have done it in like a monologue or something like that, but I really enjoyed that, and the music matched it well. So can you tell me a little bit about the making of that?
So the Love in Lockdown, again, like we brainstormed the idea together, and then we just used what we had available to us. So Emma knows her neighbour, and she lives on the top of the flat, so she was able to chat to them, and they were happy for her to throw in.
Oh yeah.
It had recently been my birthday. I still had this giant helium balloon, so I was like, "Oh, brilliant! I can use that and attach my number to it." It wasn't my actual number, but not that silly. So some of them were pre, like, "Oh, we can do this," and as it went on, it was more, "What's around the house? What's available to us? What can we utilize?"
That's great. I loved. Sorry to cut you off. I love the awkward date.
Oh.
So was that a friend or?
No, that was a real date.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I've offended you in some way, but that was hilarious.
So Emma sent me the whole. Emma screen recorded, and she sent me the whole day, but we just edited it to all the quiet pauses, so it looks really awkward.
Oh, there you go. Right, I'm safe now. I'm gonna get redder now. That's hilarious. That's awesome. I'm so happy you told me that. That's great.
But I did ask his permission to film it.
Okay.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. Oh God,
disclaimer. He wasn't very impressed when I sent him the finished video.
So you sent him the whole film?
Yeah, I sent him the whole film later, and he said, "You've made me look like an absolute prick."
Oh my god, I love that. I'm so happy.
I come off the same way, and I wouldn't say prick.
And we didn't.
No, definitely not.
We didn't go on another date after that, unfortunately.
Right. Oh my god. I'm so. You know what? This has made my day. It really has, that little story. That's made my day.
We actually originally, when we were thinking about it, the idea was that we were going to both try and get dates, weren't we?
Yeah, and then you couldn't get one.
Yeah, and then I couldn't get one, and I messaged desperately loads of random guys on Hinge, and I was like, I'm doing this creative project, can you help? I just need to film a date. And they're like, yeah, 2 people said yes and then never followed through. So then we had to change the story, so it was just one person.
Oh, so you're going to do 2 friends that were both kind of looking for, the whole film was going to be 2 people.
Yeah, it was going to be both Emma and I, and it was almost originally going to be not a competition, but a challenge of who could get a date first, and we were going to check in with each other. And
maybe that's something you could follow up on, because I know lives change, and people go back out to work or whatever it is, but I'd love to see that. I've asked other filmmakers that I've talked to on here, can you do a sequel, please? Because I really enjoyed your film. I know exactly how much work's involved, but yeah, did you just out of curiosity, Emma, did you set that date up for the film?
No, we were already dating.
Oh, okay.
So we were due to have our next date, and because we were doing this project, I asked his permission to film it, and I just said, "Oh, we're doing this little film. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too much."
You've both got rock star status for this idea, though. I love that now.
Well, that's why we should win, because we've put our heart and soul into this project.
Yeah, I can't really talk about that, but yeah, it's that's one of the reasons that we were happy to partner up with. We've got 3 judges, and I think next year, because we're going to do this next year, because it's been quite successful with.
Well, hopefully there's not another pandemic next.
Oh no, we're gonna.
There's a second spike.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. Let's not talk about Beijing at the moment. Yeah. But yeah, I just enjoyed the process, and we've had 3 really great judges. One's a music video maker that's worked with Guns N' Roses, Alice Cooper, Britney Spears, Celine Dion. He's done it all. So he's picking the cinematography award. And then we've got the directors duo who worked on Ant-Man and loads of other big projects. And they're picking best film, so it's a kind of ease the burden, because I've had anxiety about, this film deserves something or honorary or whatever. So it's incredibly difficult to make these decisions. We don't do it lightly, and we've had quite a complex scoring system to make it we've made it really fun for ourselves, but it's been a very difficult process. But your 2 films, I do absolutely love them, and
well, thank you.
Yeah, it's and the fact speaking to you 2, and it matches the energy of the films. I think there's nothing kind of malice or anything about that, and yeah, the Love in Lockdown stuff. How did you kind of work out the scenes for that? Was it was it a Zoom call or a chat or something?
Yeah, so we did a Skype call. We've done quite a few Skype calls, didn't we? We had a Google Doc that we were both working into as well. We had the initial scenes of the story of okay, we're trying to find love in lockdown. What's the funniest, ridiculous ways we can find love, and then also making them relatable. So the reason we put the signs up in the window, it was okay, it's lockdown. Everyone's putting rainbows in their window. Let's put up our number, which I had to shoot really quickly because where I live, there's a block of flats directly opposite, and I was like, I'm not sure if I really want people actually calling me.
Oh my god.
Messages from my neighbours saying I'm promiscuous and ready for a date.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah.
So and then the scenes were kind of split up between what Emma could film and what I could film, and then we edited them together.
I think that worked as well, because I didn't think that it was a separate flat or house or whatever. So that's a nice achievement, I think, that because filming in multiple locations and trying to make it look like the same place, that's quite tricky. Even things like doors or whatever, you can be disconnected from it if it's not the same space. So that's really good. I can't
We had
believe
that
it.
with we were thinking about with the because we shot Love in Lockdown first,
Okay.
and then we did Close in Lockdown, and we did talk about that, didn't we? We kind of had to commit on a wardrobe
Yeah.
because we did originally try, like, we shot some, Emma's shot some, and then I'd shot some of mine. You could tell that they were
Oh, right.
two different, you know, wardrobes.
Yeah. Setups and that, yeah, places. But yeah, it's how long do they both take to film?
Probably there was like roughly a week each.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And then
not sort of 12 hours a day kind of thing, but you know, a few hours every day, and then a mad scramble the day
We're always late. We always leave. The first one, yeah, we were just always late to the deadline, or we make it within about 5 minutes, don't we?
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. We're always a bit late, but
So, is it Emma? Are you a nurse, or was there a nurse's outfit at the start of the film?
no.
Not that kind of outfit, but no, I thought maybe it's someone else. Oh my god, maybe. No, I thought you actually worked for the NHS. You see? Oh no, maybe that's someone else's fault.
I think that's someone. There definitely aren't any nurses.
So, how long have you two known each other, and have you either of you got any experience doing film stuff before? And is this kind of your first kind of look into shooting these kind of films?
Well, yeah, we both work in advertising as creatives, but our jobs is coming up with the ideas. So it's always, we're very used to writing scripts and coming up with ideas, but obviously when you get to shooting it, we pass the script over to a director. So it's the first time. Is it the first time you've ever shot anything? It's definitely the first time I've ever shot anything and edited something together that wasn't.
Well, it's always a nice relief when you finish writing the script and then you give it over to the professionals and then they make it look amazing.
Yeah.
And then it was a really interesting process to try and make our ideas, which were amazing in our minds, look amazing, you know, on camera, but they were never going to look as good as what we wanted it to look like. But we hopefully that the concept came across anyway.
No, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Do you think this is something you're going to continue to do? And obviously time is obviously very precious when it's spare time and all of that. Do you kind of see yourselves doing this again?
I mean, yeah, maybe. It was really fun to do it, especially with Michaela, because she's one of my best friends. So it was like a really nice bonding experience for us. And you know, we did it during like a really bleak time during lockdown, when it was proper lockdown. So it was just good to keep ourselves busy, because both of us were not working. We did, you know, we both lost our jobs. We didn't have anything to do to keep us busy during the day anymore. So it was nice to have something to keep your mind stimulated and like keep you laughing, and have the end goal of submitting a film and have a deadline, something to work towards, which is what we're used to having.
Yeah.
So I think creativity, doing stuff like that, is just so good for your mental health in general. So it was good that you guys came up with the project, because it's good for so many reasons.
I totally agree with that, because that was one of the reasons we created it. Initially, we were just going to create content for each other because we're both filmmakers, the two founders, me and Chris, and we were just going to send each other films, and then that was going to be it. But then we had an idea walking back from a project. Oh, why don't we just open this up and make it more of a festival? And there's a bit of a light bulb moment then, because we thought, right, this will be an easy process. There won't be that much admin. But then it's kind of blown up since then, and corresponding with over 100 people multiple times on email has been crazy. And I've done,
oh my god,
I've done all of that and work as well. It's been completely mental, but it's been an absolute pleasure as well. And when we see fun films, when we see really poignant. There's a film called, I think it's Mothers or Mother, that we received. And it's from a filmmaker that's worked for Bloomberg, and she was pregnant just before lockdown. She had the baby in lockdown, and it was about her on her own bringing up the baby, and she documented that. Like, it's only about a minute long, but it's super powerful. So we've had a really good mix of all of these films have reflected how people have felt. It's a coping mechanism. It's a great, like you say, Emma, it's a really good way to kind of focus your energy, negative or not, to kind of something more positive. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to create a place for someone, you can post a video up on YouTube, up on Instagram really easily. We wanted to, that's why we started the podcast. We wanted to build a community around it as well, and meet new people, connect people, filmmakers to each other. And it's been great. And when we see films with talking clothes, it makes life worth living, So
I should have on the dress.
Yeah, oh my god, that would have been such a good little reference. So what kind of when you were working in advertising, what kind of scripts was it? Was it TV or TV adverts? What kind of thing was it?
Variety, mainly above the line, so TV, out of home posters, digital radio.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, me too, that kind of thing as well.
So yeah, so working to deadlines is kind of like second nature to you then?
Yeah, it's just good, isn't it, to focus you, and the industry advertising just doesn't seem in a good place at the moment, but we're hoping it's going to pick up again soon.
It will. And what you were saying about the different, I think, Emma, you said something about there's different states of lockdown. When lockdown was lockdown, it feels like you're at a shop and the staff have just turned up and you're not too sure whether you can go in or not. That's how lockdown feels now. You know what I mean?
Well, the shops did open today, so that is true.
People queuing up for Primark. Oh my god!
Didn't people camp outside? There's pictures of tents.
Yeah.
I saw loads of people berating people queuing outside Primark, but then up the road, people were doing the same at Selfridges.
Oh, were they? But they only put in the papers the one.
They didn't document the middle class queuing up for their truffles.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So and there's no toilets available. I would absolutely die. Like,
oh yeah, is that a thing? So there's
go to the toilet, and you can't try on clothes as well.
Can you not?
No.
What about shoes?
Well, you probably can in Primark because it's such a scramble, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Oh my god, that must have been chaos in there. How do you not discipline, but how do you structure that inside? Because it's easy on supermarkets, isn't it? Because the aisles are really wide. You can have dividers and everything, but in a place like Primark, it's like, I don't know, welcome to the jungle, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely mental.
I would never. That's a very good point in terms of where the news and the negativity towards queuing during now. And the thing that completely changed my mind about people queuing up, there was a pregnant mother, obviously it's the same thing. There's a lady that was queuing up because she had no clothes that fitted her anymore. So by the time she was in lockdown, she was at a point where she couldn't, it wasn't suit. She found it very uncomfortable wearing the clothes she had. So I would have just said, straight to the front to sort something like that. But it's absolutely a crazy time, and we welcome all of the films and all the filmmakers into our community now, and we're going to continue this next year in a different way, and definitely not with the lockdown.
So what will be your spin on it next year?
It's a tricky, because we've got to not rebrand, but we've got to remember the legacy, but also kind of step past it as well.
Yeah.
If it was completely up to me, it'd be all horror based, and this would be in October.
Yeah.
That's kind of my jam, You
could have like a COVID-19 anniversary or something.
I know I think maybe the rule is you've got to shoot. It's all got to be shot outside. Maybe that's a bit difficult, but maybe that's kind of the way to kind of step away from it.
Yeah, or only people in prison can film him.
Oh my God, yeah, something like that. I'm going to show you two a couple of the films if you're interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little sneak peek. So I'll tell you about the weekend. These are got to make sure I don't tell you too much. So it's going to be about an hour and a half, 2 hours, the whole event on Saturday, because we don't want it to be this kind of crazy 6-hour event, which it could be if we showed everything. So it's been extremely difficult to kind of work out the content and all of that. So because the Canadian the Isolation Short Film Festival in Toronto for Canadian actors, that was 5.5 hours, the event.
Whoa.
So I watched some of that like a crazy fool because I've got friends in Canada. And I was watching that till about 4 a.m. And that was just a terrible mistake on my part. But we didn't, because otherwise it can be over bloated. You know, the Oscars have heavyweight categories and all of that and entertainment. But we wanted to kind of make a lean event that everyone can enjoy and digest. We've even got an intermission now, a little interlude. So
Brilliant. How can we watch it? Are you going to stream it? Or?
So it's a live stream on 20th of June. I need to make sure I email everyone as well because I'm well aware that people that have submitted don't necessarily follow us on Instagram. So it's all on Instagram. It's Isolation Film Festival, and that's where we put 90% of our marketing because there's only 3 of us, and I do the majority of that. And yeah, it's 20th of Saturday, 3 p.m. GMT, and it's live on YouTube.
Emma?
What?
I'm just saying, be there.
I'm seeing you on Saturday.
Not until the evening, though. 7 p.m.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll definitely watch it.
Oh, awesome.
With our popcorn.
Do we feature in it in shape or form?
Winners, Michaela. So
every film features in it.
Ah.
Yeah, but do you just show clips of the bad ones?
I can't tell you anymore. I really want to. I almost spoiled something before to someone. I can't do it.
Did you? Is it like a montage of the bad ones?
No. I know you're kind of joking about that, but we want to make sure we do everyone show everything the right way and not pick the worst and the best and all of that. We wanted to initially do it over a 3-day period and show all the films, but that's just exhaustion and people's attention just drop off. So we wanted to make it a much smaller but fun and professional look to it, you know. So it's a tricky balance. It really was. And now we've got content coming from LA and Munich in terms of the filmmakers. The directors duo, they're Munich-based advertising filmmakers. They make amazing content, and they're making a BMW advert this week, and they're still sending us a really nice video about the Best Film Award, which is incredible. They've taken the time to do it, and no one's getting paid anything, which is even more crazy. And we just wanted to do everyone justice. It's extremely difficult. We couldn't have shown everyone's film. That's the thing, you see. We are going to show every film. We are going to say 5 a week or something like that, or maybe towards the end of the year, allow everyone to see all the content. We just want to do it the right way. And I'm open to suggestions, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to open that up in a email to every single submitter, filmmaker, that any suggestions for future content or showcasing anything like that, or things we've done to improve, then we're all ears, really.
Yeah, because it'd be nice to see what other people have submitted as well.
Absolutely. So
It'd be really interesting.
I'll talk you through the structure to a certain degree. So we'll have an opening. There's several elements to that, and then we're having a couple of honorable mentions. That's certain films that we've kind of liked as a group, and we're either going to do 6 or 9 honorable mentions, and we're going to work out time-wise where we can kind of not pad it out, but add some extra films. And then we're going to split it up with awards and introduce our Nerd OD, Vance Burberry, and then the director's duo towards the end. And then I think we're going to have a Zoom after party as well at some point.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That's cool.
I think then we'll, at the end of the show, this is a
Like
little...
a VIP lounge.
Yeah, pretty much, with about, it could be 5, it could be me and 2 other people, and that's it. But it's open to everyone, because I think on Zoom calls you can do a few hundred people, something like that. It'll be chaos. It'll be absolutely chaos. It'll be everyone screaming, But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and we just want to make a good product. It's extremely difficult to kind of make everyone happy. Like when you come up with an idea, a whole group of people might like it, but there might be 1 or 2 people that really don't like it.
The client.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're going to try our best, and that's all I can say on that, really. So there's a lot of shooting and editing and doing extra bits this week.
And do you announce the winners and everything live, and then you kind of get them to make their acceptance speech?
Now we've chosen not to call the winners, because technically it could all go. I'm going to swear it could be a clusterfuck in the end. Do you know what I mean? It could be a nightmare calling people, and then it's just with technology now and the demand on it. It's just, we've said, right, we're going to make the decisions and make it as entertaining as possible, but we can't call them. That's the trickiest thing. We're going to do follow-up. We're not just going to go Saturday, that's the event, these are the winners, that's the end of it. We're going to continue the podcast. We're going to talk to filmmakers about films outside of the festival, and continue to interview people that are interested that have submitted. So we're going to build on this. The podcast, we're really enjoying what we're doing, and Nadia's going to come on board and talk to a lot of filmmakers. She's in North Carolina, so she's going to kind of save me in many ways, because I spoke to someone in Australia the other day, and I got the time difference wrong by an hour. So I ended up talking to them at 1 instead of 12. And at 12, I thought, oh yeah, great, this is fine. I'm still got the energy. And then it's actually 1 o'clock. I was just exhausted. My brain just dropped out. And they made this music video around their house and on top of their roof and everything. So.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
And there's been different quarantine rules in different countries. So we've been quite flexible with how people have made their things. So I'm going to show you a film called Pepperholic. So this is an actress and her producing husband. She's been in a couple of films with Sean Bean, Silent Hill 3D, and a couple of other things. So let me show you this. Screen 1.
Life. It moves fast. Sometimes too fast. Sometimes so fast you find yourself sprinting just to keep pace, out of breath and exhausted. This is a story about life. Oh, I think you had dropped this.
No, not mine. No, it's not. No, not mine. No burrs. No.
Okay. A couple of days later, I think I caught her counting pepper packets. Rach? What are you...
Nothing, just...
I don't know, it happened very quickly.
Okay.
Later that day...
Pepper everywhere. Okay. She even uses it as a bookmark. Is it away? Oh, come on! What is wrong with this girl?
It was date night. That's when I knew she had a problem.
Okay, that's enough. Spicy.
Not mine. I mean, yeah.
So good. They usually come in twos. I'm okay. I swear it's not the COVID. Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm a pepperholic.
In all seriousness, addiction is no laughing matter. If you or anyone you know needs help, please reach out to the amazing humans at CAMH. For more info, visit www.camh.ca.
See, we've got the scope of the films is animation, kind of satire and comedy. It's a really good mix of films we received, and I think your films are, when people see it, and we kind of not market the films, but we showcase the films, all the films eventually, it's going to be really nice to kind of tie this podcast into that as well. So we kind of advertise the episode of this podcast and then advertise your film as well. So thank you both very much for being on the podcast.
Oh, that's okay. It's been really fun.
What did you think of the film?
I'm really curious. How did they shoot it? 'Cause it looks stock frame but filmed.
I think it's just on an iPhone. You know.
I
You mean the actual technique?
Yeah, the technique. Do you think they filmed it and then cut it, or do you think they made took lots of pictures?
I think they pulled frames out of it.
Ah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so you got 25 or 24 what they shot in. They pulled frames, because I've done that kind of thing before to kind of get that kind of effect.
Yeah.
Or they changed the pace, or they've done something with keyframes. So yeah, I wish I could show you more, because we've got a little time limit on Zoom, sadly. It's like 2.5 minutes. But
I think it would.
I absolutely love you guys, by the way. You've been great
thanks.
stars, yeah.
Stars in the making.
I think they should have done it more down the drugs route, that film, like, you know, her having like a pepper dealer and pepper rehab, and like, I don't know, just like
places where she has to hide her pepper when she goes into a nightclub, and
because it was a bit like half between a drug addiction and half between like a chocolate addiction. So I felt like it could have been stronger if it was more towards the drug side of it.
Like you could have done that. Like there could have been someone at the door in silhouette, which could have been her partner who's in the film, and you could have had a package being handed over, something really good like that. Yeah. Or like you
trying to get pepper in lockdown.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Selling out in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
Or at the end, you have a Zoom meeting, like an A&A meeting, but for Pepper.
Yeah.
And she loves Peppa Pig.
That would have been hilarious, because it was it did go down the comedy route. So yeah, that's a really cracking idea. So
not all the films can be as good as ours. So
I love the scene with all the tanning, by the way.
Pardon?
Was it in your Love in Lockdown with the tanning?
Oh.
That was hilarious. Loved all that. Well, thank you both so much, and please keep in touch. And if you get a chance to see this show on Saturday, fantastic. If not, there's going to be a backup of it, and it'll be up on our YouTube channel.
Okay, brilliant. Sounds good. And thanks for having us.
You've been great stars. Thank you both so much.
Thank you, Alex.
See you soon. See you now. Bye. Bye.